Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We were talking a little bit earlier about Tibbs, and every time in history there's a coaching change, it gets a lot of attention. But what gets less attention is continuity. So, like, for instance, Mike Malone in his fifth year did lose in the Western Conference Finals, and then lost in the second round in the sixth year, and in the first round in his seventh year, and then won a title in the eighth year. How important, particularly for a team like the Knicks, where you don't have that superstar Jordan LeBron type person, Giannis type person, is continuity in growing a team? Is coaching continuity? How much could that be made up for?
So, disregarding journalism 101, I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Sure.
What good is continuity if it cannot evolve?
Can I read your subtext to your question? Because I think you're hitting the crux. If we're saying next year, we know Tibbs does many things well. He elevates the team, he elevates the players, but we all critique the same thing, which is his substitution patterns. And should he give the bench more time? I may be too hopeful, but was thinking that these playoffs could be used as a lesson that he could make that adjustment next year. Whereas my concern is if someone comes in and fixes the weaknesses, they may not bring the strengths with them. So that's a great question. But then it lies with, would he have made the adjustment next
year? Past behavior is the best indicator of future behavior. And so, look, listen, I have a ton of respect for Tom Thibodeau. He's probably forgotten more basketball than I know. He did an excellent job with this team in terms of getting every ounce of juice out of the fruit provided. In many ways this year, I do think he deserves credit because he sort of, I won't say reinvent is too strong, but he did manage a team that had offensive firepower and did not have the defensive identity that we are accustomed to seeing. They got back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. That is an accomplishment in itself. But I also think the circle of life, if you will, or nature taking its course, whatever phrasing you want to use, you can outgrow one another. And I think that's okay. To me, having had an opportunity to spend time with these players, you are fair to question continuity, Chuck, but I also believe that particularly in your centerpiece in Jalen Brunson, and I would even add Karl-Anthony Towns in this mix, they are not the sort of superstars that demand the ball in a way that it takes a long time to develop continuity. Yeah. The way that the Knicks have played previously was the system, but they are such sharp basketball IQ guys, and yes, naturally talented, that I think that their ability to adjust, as with the rest of this roster, you will find continuity can be maintained, not just salvaged, because the personnel largely will stay the same. Now, if it's a new coach and they get Giannis, then you're talking about certainly taking the first 3 months or so of the season to really start to build and develop. But obviously, I don't think you make both of those plays, and expect results in year one. In fact, one of the reasons that I think Karl-Anthony Towns deserves a level of credit is I personally do not subscribe to it working with two new superstars in year one for that exact reason. And for this team to have this level of success in year one, it speaks to his mindset and his willingness, as he came in his initial press conferences saying, to defer to Jalen Brunson and continue to be additive to this team and not disruptive.
Fair point.
And can I add to that? And Chuck, of course, respectfully, of course, but when you said that he learned from this year and learned from the playoffs, didn't he kind of wasn't his hand kind of forced to play the bench during in the Indiana series when you had a few players go down and he kind of had no choice? But if it was his number one option, would he have just continued the way that he always been coaching as Iron Man basketball?
It's an open question. I'm not saying he definitely learned. I'm saying I would want to know if he could adjust after having more evidence. I'm just saying he had more evidence this time. Whether he would adjust or stay stubborn, that's an open question. I've been that critic the whole time. So, we'll see. But I think, Monica, you make great points about your continuity points, that you could bring that in particular with someone like Jalen Brunson and Cat, who could operate in any system.